Hey guys, this is part 2 of my Vegas video blog. Actually, FLIXKO's Vegas part number 8 or something, I don't know. I'm sitting at the top of the Bellagio parking garage. I think it's a nice spot to have a good view over the Strip and the surrounding hotels. So I do park here a lot just to enjoy the view sometimes. You got the Bellagio over here and the Rio in the background. And we turn over here. We'll have is that Caesar's Palace. The light is alright. Flamingo, Bally's, Paris, and then we have Planet Hollywood next door, and the fountains. Right now, I think they're doing a little testing, but no real show. So, right, time to do a little recap of the trip. First week was pretty good, as you all could watch or hear in the first part of my video blog. Second week wasn't all that great, to be honest. There was a lot going wrong. First of all, I received some bad news from Germany, which bothered me a little bit for some personal reasons, and I just couldn't get my mind focused on the live grind anymore. My mind just constantly kept wandering off, and I decided not to play any 2.5 or 5.10 anymore for those reasons, because I just felt I couldn't bring my A game anymore. I wasn't really that motivated to play at the higher stakes. So what I did was I sat down a lot with my roommate, who plays a lot of 1-3, and we played together at these tables, which was quite a good decision, to be honest, because I did end up making a lot of questionable plays, and one of it was stacking off with top pair, second best kicker to a whale, a guy that was really running insanely hot. He started out with 200 bucks. I did stack him once with kings when he jammed on a queen high flop. And I was good with my kings, and then he rebought for 100, doubled to 200, and then started taking everybody's money at the table. He was just doubling through everyone, just flopping nuts, flush. He was flopping flushes, straights, full houses, whatever. If he didn't flop them, he turned or rivered them, and he was just running really hot. And I was in a spot with him where I flopped top pair, and the board was 10-8-4. I bet he called, turn was a 5, so 7-6 got there. I bet again, and he raised me. And since he showed a bluff to me in a previous hand where he just made a min raise on the turn with an air ball with king jack high, and I ended up folding. I had a gutter and I had to fold. He actually had the best hand with king high, but he was bluffing, of course. I just thought that top pair might be good, and I leveled myself a little bit there. And I do think that it's very dangerous if you get in these kinds of situations against recreational players or people that run really hot, and you just stop believing them and just stop believing that they actually have it, or that you just keep telling yourself they can't have it every single time, right? They must be bluffing at some point, because they're recreational players and they play in a creative way and they do all sorts of crazy stuff. But when they're running hot, and you can't do anything about it. So what he ended up doing was he just took everyone else's money. And he was wrapping up the session with like a 2.5k stack or so. Well, that was just a random side story from the tables. Apart from that, to continue the recap, I was up a bunch after the first week. Now, after week number 2, I pretty much played break even all the way. So if I take off all the costs for this trip, for accommodation, for flights, for rental car, for food, and so on, I'm up a little bit, but not very much. So, it's okay. So I'm happy with the result. It's not too bad. Coming back in December anyways. Oops. Uh-oh. Let me just pause the recording for a second. That was a little bit too loud. Sorry about the interruption. So where was I? Talking about the bottom line. Well, I'm up a little bit, so I'm happy about the results. Not too bad. Had a nice little vacation, and apart from that, I met a lot of nice people at the tables. I met grinders from all over the world. I met grinders from Hungary. I met a grinder from Japan. I was wearing the patch, so the patch kind of helped me get to know people. It was really interesting because people started talking to me, and we just had very nice conversations, and got to know a lot of poker players, locals from Las Vegas, and people that actually follow my blogs or my threads. So that's really nice to hear, and it was really a very, very nice experience meeting all these people. So I would say the trip was a success, even though I'm not up as much as I would love to be, but you can't influence that. I mean, it's poker after all. So that's about it concerning results. What else is there? Well, there's something about accommodation that I wanted to get into. It's I don't really like to... Sorry for the second interruption, guys. We got sent away from the Bellagio parking garage because we were not allowed to sit on the wall. So we made our way over to MGM, to the Tropicana, and got New York, and City Center in the background. My buddy's just headed over to MGM to get a souvenir chip. Flight is leaving in about 5 hours time, so we're on our way to the airport. Make the last couple of supply runs, Vegas supply runs, get some more shopping done and souvenir chips and stuff like that before we head to the airport. Apart from that, I wanted to get into the topic of accommodation in Vegas. The Flamingo was okay. The central location on the Strip is pretty much the biggest advantage it has. Apart from that, we didn't feel, even though we were upgraded to a gold room, which is nice, and it's renovated, it's a nice room, but it just doesn't have the right atmosphere. I just feel like we should, or at least I should, be investing more money into decent accommodation on my next trip. So to draw a conclusion from this trip, it was a little bit too long. 2 weeks was just a little bit too long. I think 8 to 10 days is pretty much a perfect time span to spend here for the grind, because I was just losing focus and losing motivation on the second week. Well, it may have to do with the news that I got, but apart from that, I still felt it was just too long of a time to be here and to just grind it out. Well, yeah, about accommodation, I think next time I get here, in December, I'm gonna go and stay at Vidara with the wife, which I'm really looking forward to, which is a 5-star hotel. And it doesn't cost that much more than the Flamingo, actually, with a gold room. So with the gold room, we paid about, I think, $80 per night, plus taxes and plus internet. Vidara is only $90 to $100 per night, so yeah, it doesn't cost that much more, and I hope it's going to be much nicer. And I just feel like when you go out to grind here, it's so much more important to invest into a good accommodation where you just feel comfortable, because it is going to pay off. It is going to pay off a lot to your state of mind, to your mindset, and to you being positive and staying motivated. Because if you get back to a room that you don't really enjoy staying in, and just feel miserable, you might feel miserable, and it's not going to help your game. So I think that's just an investment into the EV of your overall grinding sessions. And that's about it. I think I will wrap up this video blog. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll be back in December, so stay tuned for more updates and more pics from Vegas when I'm back. Really looking forward to get back to the online grind. There's a lot of stuff going on PokerStars in December, so check that out. All the promotions going on. So see you guys at the tables next Sunday already. Right, see you.